Hey everybody, it's Mark, DoctorDeadwax. It's time for After the Dig 29. Having a left-handed brewing Nitro milk stout. Cheers everybody, hope you're all doing well. Okay, I think as people, I got a stack of records. I guess people are calling stuff like this mailbox finds these days, so that's kind of what this is. This is some stuff off eBay, some stuff off some forums, some private purchases from people I bought from in the past, and a couple of pickups from local dealers. So nothing, no in real life digs really. I mean, the dealer stuff came off the net in a way too, through emails and stuff. But this is one of the local buys. This is a Blue Rodeo Casino. This is the first of the hard to find Blue Rodeo records. I've shown some Blue Rodeo before. I did one of the records I think on a lead into Deadwax, which I'll get back to eventually. So Blue Rodeo are Canadian alt country, kind of alternative alt country, say maybe early in their career, and say more pop / adult contemporary. And rock and roll alt country now. They're kind of, I don't know, but so this is the first. This is from 1990. This is the first of their hard to get albums, and the last one I needed. This is a Canadian press, and there's a German. I'd like to get the German of this at some point. They have a new record called In Our Nature, which I don't have yet, but that came out within the past year, so that's readily available. But there are some really hard to find Blue Rodeo records on vinyl. I've managed to get them all over the past few years. They had a record that was only released on vinyl as a promotional record, and that one gets kind of stupid money. And I looked into that one 2 years ago, so that was goodbye. Next is Marcus. This is, I guess, kind of an orchestral psych folk record from Marcus. Marcus Uzalewski. But most people would probably know him as Rusty Evans. Rusty Evans was in a psychedelic band called The Deep, and was also a folk, I think, was it New Christy Minstrels or something like that, and contemporary of Dylan and different people, and record artist promotion. Anyway, so this is my second copy of this. This is on Kinetic. The price was right. I could not pick this up. And if you've never heard this record, you should go on eBay, or sorry, you should go on YouTube and look up Marcus. I think the song is called Grains of Sand, but I could be wrong. But this is a great psych folk record. Great record. Some more psych folk, a trio of records from Pearls Before Swine. This is their first record, first pressing on ESP disc. This I bought off somebody, and it was graded as excellent, plus, and it's VG at best. Then that's highly generous. Next, Pearls Before Swine, Balaclava. And this has custom labels. This is also on ESP disc. So this is the best Pearls Before Swine record, I'd say. Kind of, definitely psychedelic, psych folk, but kind of straight ahead. This one is more kind of experimental and glitchy, and but still psych folk. I don't know, but it definitely farther out there, but didn't work for me as well as their self-titled release. And then this is, I think it's the third record or the fourth, but I'm pretty sure it's the third. This is, because I think the fourth is just called Tom. Anyways, Tom Rapp, Pearls Before Swine, Beauty Lies You Could Live In. Beautiful Lies You Could Live In. This is a good record. This is pretty... So we've done psych folk, then we've really kind of gone out into slightly experimental psych folk, and now we've really pulled back to more folk rock. This is it's a good record though. It's a really good listen, like all of them. This is a white label promo on Reprise, and then I think the next one is just called Tom Rap, and that is I think on Blue Thumb. That record goes pretty cheap, so I'm hoping to find that. This is good. They're all really good. I hadn't heard Pearls Before Swine. Bit of a I think a couple of years ago this was re-released pretty cheaply, and it became a bit of a darling of the BC. It was on my radar, but I had never listened to it because I kind of, if enough people say they like it, I kind of look for it as opposed to listen to it, so that when I actually get it, it's new to me. Symphony for Improvisers, Don Cherry. Pretty sure this is an original pressing on Blue Note. It's in New York, USA. Might be a second pressing. It was like $20 for this. I was really happy to get this. This is, I don't know, we're getting into kind of free jazz here. This is good. I wasn't totally blown away by it. Next was Ornette Coleman, The Empty Foxhole. This has his son, which I was not aware of, or Ornette Donardo Coleman on drums. I wonder what became of him. Did he... it's not somebody I'm very familiar with. Came from the same person. This is good. I really like this. This is definitely first pressing. That's why I've kind of packaged it up in the Blake sleeve. I won't rip them open. Again, free jazz. But that's highly accessible, I'd say, The Empty Foxhole. More accessible than the Symphony for Improvisers. Here's kind of getting a little bit more far out. David Murray and Low Class Conspiracy, Volume 1, Penthouse Jazz. This is on Circle Records, live in 1997. David Murray, Don Pullen, Butch Norris, Fred Hopkins, and Stanley Crouch. And that's the label. I've actually listened to everything in this stack, which is kind of unusual. I have to say, the first side has one song on it called Dewey Circle. It's 28 minutes long, and it definitely did not work for me. A little bit too far out, too free, too much of the noisy, squonky shit. But the second side, Jones' Green Satin Dress, was great. It had that kind of currently I prefer when stuff is kind of free. I prefer the rhythm section to kind of be like the bass and drums to be kind of more in, and everybody else to be more out, I guess is how people classify it. And so side 2 really worked for me. But if you like free jazz, that was cheap. That was like $6. This is my first black jazz record. This is Kelly Patterson, Maiden Voyage, and this is actually a white label promo. And this is good. I mean, kind of very soulful, I would say. More soul jazz than a jazz vocalist. I'd say the record is more soul jazz, but I enjoyed this. Wasn't what I expected, but it was rather good. A couple more straight jazz pieces. This is Yusef Lateef, A flat, G flat, and C, and just fantastic record. Just a fantastic record. Don't believe this is a first pressing. It's also Canadian, so it doesn't really matter. But fantastic record, and just a giant of a record. I love this. This is totally what I like the most, the kind of hard bop. Anyways, the body and the soul, Freddie Hubbard. This is a Canadian impulse pressing on Impulse Spartan. So instead of the standard Impulse label, it has this Spartan label, which is a maroon label with gold text. And just a fantastic record. I could listen to jazz like this all the time. So Impulse was one of these labels that actually had a Canadian imprint. And it was pressed by Spartan, whereas like the Blue Notes I showed, for example, they were only available from the United States here in Canada. So they're kind of really hard to come by, whereas this stuff's still really hard to come by, but at least it was made here. Back in the day, this was a $6 or $7 record, that those Blue Note records probably would have been 20, because there would have been a large duty charged on them and a large importation tax because they were not a domestic product. And one more free jazz record is the Heliocentric Worlds of Sun Ra. I will open this even though I hate this Blake sleeve opening sound. It drives me squirrely in videos, but this is first pressing on ESP disc. I'm pretty sure it's a first pressing. The reason why I say that is because it has this address for a catalog in a box, and that's what I've seen online in the first pressings. But if anybody knows for sure how to tell what is a first pressing of this, I'd love to hear from you, because I mean, I paid like $8 for this, so it was a total steal. And I mean, I don't know if this is classed as free jazz, but it's fantastic. This is a great record. Whatever the hell it is, it's great. It's really engaging and entertaining listening, and I certainly wouldn't call it out. I would call it highly different, but I wouldn't call it out. So yeah, love this. Love that record. Looks like we're getting into some kind of psych here. Bangor Flying Circus. Killer fucking record. This is great. Kind of hard psych blues rock on the Dunhill label. Pretty sure this one's Canadian, yeah. These guys later became Majura. Majura have two records with kind of like a shot of a field, and the words Majura are written in the field, and they kind of used two photos from the same photo shoot for both of their record covers. But yeah, this is great. Majura is good too. They're both. It's all great, but wow, somebody showed this in a Facebook group, and that's what put it on my radar. And when I saw it for like $7, I bought it. Great record. A bunch of Dr. Johns here. Dr. John the Night Tripper, Grigri. Fucking, this is phenomenal. This is a truly phenomenal record. Canadian pressing on Atco. Truly mind-blowing record. Psychedelic, jazzy, rhythm and blues, rock and roll, all of it kind of a real melting pot of sounds and atmospheres and textures. And I think this is 67. Also, it's a promo, but it's just a stamp promo. Like, it just has a promo stamp on the... It's not actually a promo label. Great record. Also picked up this one, Dr. John the Night Tripper, The Sun, Moon and Herbs. And again, this is really good. Not as good as Grigri, but great. Still a great record. And a little bit of a risque cover. Again, these are from before they told you what year they were from on the label. So again, I would put this probably in the 60s, late 60s. And Canadian yellow label Atco. And the last Dr. John is In the Right Place. And again, this has one of these weird covers. It's a gatefold, but the record goes in the wrong side. And again, this is another Canadian Atco. And this is 1975, I think. And some interesting photos. What is that a picture of? And what's going on here? I understand that might be a mosquito, but and somebody's squeezing their lemon until maybe the juice. Anyway, another great Dr. John record. Last two here. Illustration, Canadian horn rock, I guess you might call it, Quebec based, on Janus, and several people from this band went on to long careers in music in Canada, but yeah, I don't know. If you like what's called horn rock, this is more than just horn rock. But I don't know. I think this is better than anything Chicago ever did. So check it out. This is on YouTube. I think several songs are on YouTube from that. And then the last record I picked up was Jade Warrior. This is Last Autumn's Dream, and this is a U.S. pressing. And this is phenomenal. I wanted to find some Jade Warrior for a long time. And honestly, you never see it here. I picked this up out of the States. But this is on Vertigo. So it's got the large Vertigo. I think this is my first record with the large Vertigo thing. But it's a U.S. pressing, but still has the original catalog card. So obviously it was distributed by Mercury in the States. Fantastic prog, just phenomenal. I can't believe I'd heard of Jade Warrior. This is another band I was exposed to through the BC. Lots of people have shown it over the years, and I've known to pick it up when I see it. And this is the first time I ever saw it. And killer record, killer record. I understand they have better records, but this is phenomenal. So anyway, that's after the Dig 29, kind of my online pickups, and bit of a mixed bag from free jazz to straight ahead jazz to psych folk and prog rock, everything in between. Usual kind of crap. Have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.